This is Alan Ball.
Hi, this is Audrey Fisher.
This is Jim Perry.
Hi, this is Kristen Bauer.
Hi, this is Alexander Skarsgård.
This is Nelson Ellis.
Hi, this is Johnny Neal.
This is Rayon Tucker.
Hi, this is Lindsay Fulton.
Hi, this is Ryan Quantum from True-Blood. Hello, this is Theo Alexander.
Hey, this is Lauren Bowles.
Hi, this is David Tishman.
This is Chase Everett.
Hello, this is Janina Gavankar.
This is James Frame.
Hi, this is Courtney Ford, and you're listening to True Blood Radio.
Hi, Liz and Mel with True-Blood.net here with this week's episode discussion of Death is Not the End. We'll be sharing our thoughts and ideas and general musings of the episode with you guys. And later we're going to talk about spoilers for next week's episode. Plus, we have a little bit of news for Comic-Con, which is next week, and we are in a fury to get ready to get there. So this is podcast number 225 for the week of July 13th, 2014, and Mel's going to kick us off.
That's right. We have our news about the True Blood panel at Comic-Con this year. It's their last appearance because it's the last season. So, of course, we will be there covering all of it. The panel will happen on Saturday, which is July 26th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So remember that. That's Pacific time is when it starts. And we'll be there. It's scheduled to last an hour and 15 minutes, which is long. I mean, usually these are 45, 50-minute panels, but they're going an hour and 15, so I don't know. I think they've got some surprises in store for us. But HBO sent out a confirmed list of the True Blood cast members who will be attending this year's Comic-Con. Right off the bat, we're going to tell you Skarsgård will not be there. Tarzan started filming this week, which means that he couldn't get his schedule to work out to come. Boo.
Yeah.
But, oh well. It is what it is. So, in order, executive producer Brian Buckner will be there, and then cast members Chris Bauer, who plays Andy, Kristen Bauer, Van Stratton, Pam, Anna Camp, Sarah Newland, Nelson Ellis, who plays Lala, Stephen Moyer, Bill Compton, Anna Paquin, Sookie, Nathan Parsons, the newbie playing James Kent, Carrie Preston, who's Arlene, Sam Trammell, who's Sam, and Rutina Wesley. Now, that was a surprise. I didn't think they were going to bring her back. So, what would she have to share with us? Let's hear it. And, of course, the lovely Deborah Ann Wool as Jessica. That is our lineup for this year's Comic-Con. There's also going to be a signing at the Warner Brothers booth, which is that giant booth in the middle of the exhibition hall. That'll be also on Saturday the 26th at 2 p.m. Be sure, if you're going to attend and you want to do the autograph signing, make sure that you read up on how they're handling that, because you'll have to go early and get, in past years, this is how they've done it. You have to go early and you have to get a wristband, and then you come back and you line up. So just be aware of what the protocol is for doing the signing. And, you know, I'd like to say that you can probably do both, since the signing's at 2 p.m. and the panel's at 5, but I don't know. Because Ballroom 20, the line's going to be out the door. I mean, it's going to be down the stairs and out to the sidewalk. I don't know. I mean, you can try if you want. Just pick one. That's our advice every year. Pick one. Make that happen. If you can do both, awesome. But, yeah.
It fills up quick and that line takes forever. These guys,
yeah,
they start lining up at, 4
or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but since this is the last panel, well, there's one more panel after that, I think. No, there's not. It gets out at 6:15, and I think there's the Masquerade is later that night, I think. So, I think that the True Blood panel is the last one of the day, which should mean that it clears out quite a bit from other people who have been there for the other panels as they leave. So there's a chance, is what I'm saying. There's a chance that you could do both. But honestly, just pick one, decide which is your most important, make that happen, and try to make the other one happen if you can.
Yeah.
Because, final year, do what you can do.
Maybe we'll see the reappearance of Cardboard Alexander Skarsgård.
I hope so. That was so much fun. What year was that? Was that, I think it was 2010. I think it was 2010 that he couldn't be there. No, or 20. I don't remember.
So that was season 4?
Was it? So it would have been 2011.
I think
And
that's when it was.
he was off filming something else. And so Anna Paquin and Stephen Moyer brought out a life-size cardboard cutout of Skarsgård and
As Eric.
and posed for pictures. And yeah, it was pretty awesome. So.
It was
But
fun.
as always, we will be there providing all the coverage possible. We'll have tons of exclusive photos for you. We'll be live tweeting from the panel. They will, I'm sure, be showing us a action-packed preview of the remaining episodes, which should go online right after it airs at Comic-Con. HBO is really good about putting it up online right away. So watch for that. If you can't be at Comic-Con itself, watch for that. And, and everything else that's going on, we'll bring you all of it. We are planning to do a live podcast from San Diego on Monday. We'll have details of that on the website closer to the time that we're going to do it. We just have to figure out when, the logistics of it all.
We'll have bags under our eyes, circles. We'll be stumbling over our words because it'll be the end.
So nothing new on my side.
Yeah. We'll be getting ready to go home right after that.
Yep.
So, yikes. We are not to be held responsible for the way we look in that
That's right.
podcast.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Disclaimer.
All right. Well, let's get on to the episode discussion. This was phenomenal. This was an amazing episode. I loved every part of it. Every single part of it. There was nothing that I wanted to skip.
No.
Everything was good.
I mean, even down to the music.
Mm-hmm.
Those beautiful, haunting, romantic, heartbreaking tones from Nathan Barr, and the fun of including music from Garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was awesome.
I mean, the yeahs. I mean, it was fun. It was fun to do that, and we had the emotional roller coaster ride because we were crying one minute, we were laughing at another, and then crying again, and it was such an excellent episode. It just hit it on all cylinders. Mm-hmm. And I only saw a couple people actually who didn't really care for it, and I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know what they're looking for at all, but
honestly, at this point, I just accept that I'm watching a different show than most people. So
I guess that must be it.
When the stars align and everybody agrees with me, that's great. But if they don't, whatever.
Yeah, but really, pretty much everybody. This was a fan favorite episode, and I'm thinking that unless the rest of the episodes are going to be just like that, this is going to be the standout episode of the season.
I hope we're on a roll now. I hope we are, because I feel like we've tied up the vigilante storyline because they're all dead. So
yeah,
so we got through the kind of townspeople turning on Sookie part. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think she still needs to be vindicated officially, but I think we've kind of gotten through that part, which is, again, as we've talked about, that ties back into the books. And the Hep V vamps that were in Bon Tom, in Shreveport, are history now. So now we can turn our focus toward, we've gotten through that 48 hours of intense danger and death. So now we can kind of take a breath. Mm-hmm. We saw Sookie. Gosh, the scenes with Eric and Sookie. My gosh.
They were beautiful.
I forgot how great they are together. I mean, I know they've got amazing chemistry, but that was on another level. Mm-hmm. That her just running into his arms when she saw him to hug him. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was so sweet. And the way that, when they were talking together in Bill's office and he was holding her and stroking her hair, and she was talking about losing Alcide, and she, he started to be snarky about it, and she called him on it. Mm-hmm. She's like, that happened this morning, so back off.
Right.
That was, and talking about where he'd been, he opened up to her, and I guess, he didn't open up to Pam, but he opened up to Sookie. And you could see it on Pam's face when she realized Sookie was there. She knew. I mean, she knows where she stands in the hierarchy of things. You know, and it was really a very sweet and tender interaction between the two of them that I wasn't expecting to get in the midst of all of this horror and tragedy that we've had this season. I really didn't think that we were going to have time for them to take a breath and reconnect like that. Yeah. Because if you recall, they haven't actually, the last time that they really interacted was the season premiere of season 6. When, you know, the girl in the white dress. Right. And she tells him goodbye, basically. You know, she doesn't want that. She doesn't want to be with vampires anymore. And that means Eric. And then he's, you know, gets caught up in other stuff. And so does she. So it was unexpected and just lovely. It was really lovely. And I'm curious to see where they go with this next. We had a source, I think we had kind of referenced this previously, but we didn't actually want to out anybody. We had a source who had told us that they were that Eric and Sookie worked together to get into Fantasia and rescue everybody, which is what we saw with him, you know, the I'm his, she's mine trick that maybe wasn't a trick. That was, I don't know. We'll see. But it was, you know, it was really lovely. And even I hope that if that's all we get for the two of them, as far as their relationship and their reconnection, I don't think it will be. I think there's more to do there. But if that's all we get, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah. I'm pretty okay with that being their relationship. I don't know. I would like to see more, but I think I would be okay with it being just that.
Well, you know, I'm thinking of that scene at the end where they were looking at each other, you know, across the room after everything was done, and Arlene was saved, and, you know, Sookie's holding her, and, you know, like that, and then she looks at him, and he looks at her. The look that he had on his face, to me, it kind of looked like, you know, she was saying thank you silently, and he's saying, you know, you're welcome, and, you know.
Goodbye.
I get it, yeah.
Because he thinks he's going to die. He really does.
Yeah. So
and I think that informed everything that they were doing. That was the subtext of that, and all of their interactions was, it's, you know, in their reality, it's very likely that he's going to die, because at this point they don't have any indication that there's a cure. Right. Like there's no hope for a cure for this, for Hep B. So I think he was saying goodbye, and she was saying goodbye, and just being grateful. It was bittersweet. You know, they were grateful that they got to reconnect. And I don't know, it was just really beautifully done.
It was wonderfully shot, and, you know, props to Skarsgård for his facial expressions. He can get emotion across quite well without uttering a sound. Yeah. I appreciate that in an actor. And, you know, and dang, he looked good.
He did. Man, those flashbacks
and
were
don't
amazing.
Send me any notes about, oh, why you sound so surprised. I'm not surprised. Just that he hasn't always looked that great. Come on. Yeah. He's looked a little rough.
He has, but he's, you know, considering he's dying, he doesn't look too shabby. Yeah. So. Yeah. And then we got those wonderful flashbacks. Yeah. To 1986. Oh my gosh. I could watch that scene of the Magister, which, yay, the Magister.
I know.
Should we backtrack for a second?
I guess so.
So we got Jackson. We got, at the beginning, I mean, it was bad news, but we got Jackson, we got Hoyt, we got the Magister, and we got Terry.
Yeah. Right there at the beginning.
Just boom. I mean, well, it's, you know, scattered throughout the whole episode. We got to go revisit people, and we got Jesus got name checked. So, that's right. You know, so there was that. I don't know if we'll actually get to see him or not. Kevin Alejandro is a busy guy, so he maybe couldn't come back and actually do a cameo, but I wondered if that was a little bit of a setup for us to see him in person sometime soon. Godric has to be coming, right?
Has to.
He has to. There's no way.
Yeah. I can't imagine they would wind up the series without one more.
And it's most likely it's going to be as Eric is near death, right?
Probably.
That's what I'm thinking. He's it, kind of like Arlene with Terry.
Yeah.
It's going to be Eric with Godric, and then Godric says, fight for it, or whatever the cure is starts working, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he comes back. I don't think they're not going to kill Eric.
No. I just don't see that happening.
No. So which other characters do we need to see? Maybe we'll get Luna. I don't know if she had enough impact, but that was just so cool. I'm just loving it.
Yeah. I don't think we'll see Luna.
I don't either, partially because Janina is also very, very busy. Mm-hmm. So
yes. It's a new series. Woohoo!
She does. So we got all of those kind of little cameos, which was awesome. Yeah. And then we also have so we have these flashbacks. So we've got that scene, the flashback to 1986, with the Magister giving Eric and Pam their punishment. I could watch Pam all day with that. When he throws the keys and she just stands there.
Yeah.
All day I could watch that. That was amazing. And Eric, I'm sorry, Pam. Just
it was so much fun. It was much fun.
It was
just
brilliant.
The way she greeted the Magister to begin with. It was hilarious.
Yes. That was, oh my gosh. And you could just tell that Kristen and Alex were having a ball with this. Their fictional lives are not in danger. They're not grieving over something. They're not having to be, endure some tragedy or indignity on their person. Instead, they have to now take over a video store in Shreveport. It's just wearing big 80s hair and 80s clothes and oh my gosh. And then Skarsgård gets to come out in the 96 flashback to Garbage's number one crush, looking all Jason Priestley from 90210. Literally, that was Audrey Fisher's inspiration, was Jason Priestley from 90210. The hair, the outfit, perfect. And along with Ginger, everyone in the audience went, "What?" That was awesome. Love that whole thing.
I know.
And all of that backstory with Ginger. Now, when we talked with Tara Buck before the season started, she alluded to the fact that we were going to find out more about Ginger's backstory and why Eric and Pam keep her around. And she talked about Ginger being the ultimate vampire fangirl. That's who she is. She loved Bela Lugosi, and we saw her house in a previous season 5, I think. We saw her house, and it was if you look closely, it's full of vampire memorabilia, and so this just ties right into it. And yeah, so that whole thing, and she's the one that came up with Fantasia, and then Pam glamored it out of her. Oh my gosh. Took the credit.
Which made Eric laugh when she confessed. It's like,
yes.
Pam, you little devil, you.
Such a bitch. But then we got that really sweet moment of her saying, "But that's why you love me," and he says, "Always." And
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Wait, so what? This is just a little tiny thing, but where did Eric come up with a private jet?
That's Anubis Air.
Okay.
Remember Anubis Airlines?
I do.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was Anubis Air, but okay.
You have to look really closely, but on the flight attendant's uniform, not that anybody was looking up there, is the little symbol.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah, that's Anubis. That was providing uninfected food source for their passengers until Eric.
Eric.
Did I forget to tell you?
Yeah, until Eric. Thanks a lot, Eric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he doesn't care.
No.
No.
Because he thinks he's
Sorry,
gonna die.
Victoria.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
It was kind of a jerky thing to do.
Yeah, it was.
You know, at least compensate her.
Mm-hmm.
He's wealthy enough.
It was a jerky thing to do, but it was also a very Eric thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for all that we
I
were
know.
swooning, he was still Eric.
Yeah, I know. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Still. felt
He's
bad
still
for
the
the girl.
1,000-year-old Viking, you know, royalty. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Pompous.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. To the end.
Speaking of, we got some amazing Eric Bill stuff.
Yes.
It was just a little bit, but Pam tells me you wrote a book about how you're not an asshole anymore. Is that right, Bill?
And then later, Bill, when he saves him, see, not an asshole.
That was awesome.
I loved it.
Oh my gosh, I love it when those two are.
They're like, sparks fly when
Yes.
those two have to work together, you know, because I remember when we talked to Skarsgård a few years back, and he talked about the relationship between Eric and Bill, and he talked about it being kind of a big brother, little brother thing. That's how he described it. And boy, you know, there's nothing more fun than to see these two teenage brats, teenage boys get together, and you know, you just roll your eyes and go, would you two stop?
And Pam rolled her eyes a lot in this episode. I think I might need to watch again just to count how many times she rolled her eyes, because it was epic.
Yeah.
There was epic eye rolling going on from Pam. I mean, she finds out that Sicky's in Bill's house, and she's like, "Oh, of course,
Of course,
just,
of course she is." Yeah, Pam didn't want to go back anyway.
No,
she didn't want to go back there anyway. She's like, "Okay, we're going to Dallas. We're going
to Baton Rouge. So we're going to go to Baton Rouge and go after one of the senators first."
Right. They're going after Sarah Newland, and that's what she's all gung ho for. Yeah, get back into it, just like the old days. No, first we have to stop in Bon Temps
for Willa.
For Willa. Okay, Willa.
Yeah.
Willa.
Oh my gosh, Willa! You go, Willa! She was pissed off.
I was so happy.
Me too.
One person who was not happy to see Eric come back. Mm-hmm. And I knew it too. I knew she would be mad. As soon as they were talking earlier in the episode about her being, you know, Eric leaving her, you know, it was Pam that said it to Eric.
Yeah. She's going to be mad like Tara was mad at me. And he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. Woo,
when
baby.
she said it, I was like, oh, I want to see that. I just want to see that. Because everybody's always, you know, after seeing...
She was livid.
Oh, she was so mad. You know, just release me. I can't stand you. You're such a jerk. You leave me after I'm only a few hours old.
That's in the next episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's in the And the next, she's still pissed off in the next episode, you guys.
Good.
This is not going away.
We get to see more of that.
Yeah.
It's just fun. You know,
it's real.
I like seeing hotshot characters being taken down a peg or two. You know, I always have. I don't care what show I'm watching. You know, you get a hotshot character that everybody loves. We all love, but once in a while they need to be taken back. Mm-hmm. And I like it when it happens. And she had a very good reason to be mad at him.
She did.
And to tell him off. And she wasn't afraid to either.
I was proud of her. I mean, remember when we met her, she was seemingly under her father's thumb, but in reality, she'd been working against him the whole time. Mm-hmm. So this is very true to Willa's character. Mm-hmm. To be like, screw you, Dad.
Yeah.
You suck.
I didn't take it from him. I'm not going to take it from you.
Yep.
Loved it. She learned a lot more without Eric than she ever would have with him.
Probably.
Which we talked about in the first podcast when we were talking about, or last week, we were talking and I was mentioning what I wished I'd see. And we did kind of see it a little bit where Bill was trying to convince Jessica to feed. That I liked it because Bill is more of he was always been more of the nurturing father, and Eric has been, I don't have time for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though, I mean, it's been 1,000 years since Eric's had kids.
Well, it's been 100 and something because of Pam. 100.
No, I'm talking about real, like he was married and his wife gave birth. Like Bill.
Yeah, like real kids. Yeah.
Yeah. So, for Bill, the family man Bill, having another kid, he knew how to do that, and Eric is clueless, or not quite clueless, is he just doesn't care. It's just it doesn't fit in. It doesn't fit into his schedule, Yeah. So,
and he turned her out of revenge anyway. It was out of spite.
Yeah.
So
he had no connection with her. So I totally get it when Pam's like, "What do you want to go back for her?" I mean, you didn't. What?
Pam knew it wasn't about Willa. She knew. It was all about Sookie.
Yeah.
It's always about Sookie. Of course it is.
Which doesn't make Pam any happier.
No.
And you know what? Here's the thing, and I mentioned it in the chat room Sunday night. After seeing Pam so angry, having to deal with Sookie again, I really miss, that's one thing from the books that I wish they would have been able to do on the show, was to incorporate a little bit of that gal-pal relationship that Sookie and Pam had, because it wasn't always, they'd give each other hugs and kiss on the cheek. In the books, it was always Pam has always been Pam, but there were those little moments that she had with Sookie, that where you saw how Pam missed having a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And Sookie didn't have any friends. Nobody trusted her because of her, ability. And here's Pam, about the closest thing, because Tara, in the books, even Tara didn't, really trust Sookie.
Well, Tara was busy. She got married. She had twins. She was running her clothing store. She was busy.
I'm sorry. I have hair in my mouth. Sorry.
Oh.
Hair in my mouth. Sorry. But yes.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I do wish that we had seen more of Pam and Sookie being friends.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been nice. But if we were headed toward a season where Sookie feels like she has no one that she can rely on, I kind of see why we didn't get there.
Yeah.
With maybe Pam will have a change of heart soon. I don't know, but I loved going back to the Willa and Eric thing. Willa just screaming at him for coming back. Oh my gosh, now I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said something about, Sookie, and Sookie standing right there, and she says, "No offense," and Sookie's like, I understand.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it. Sookie knows. She's not dumb. She knows what's going on.
She had just said something of the same thing that Willa said. Whatever it was, I can't think of it either. But she had just said it to Jessica.
Mm-hmm. That she oh yeah, and how about that scene with Jessica, where she ran the boys out because we got some woman to woman stuff to talk about, which always works, ladies, always.
Yeah,
we got to talk about girl stuff, and they immediately think tampons. So that's it doesn't matter. So they're gone, and she sits down and she basically tells Jessica, "I don't care if you die."
Yeah.
Honestly, everybody I love is dead. I'm losing everybody. But at this point, I need your help and you owe me. So you need to eat. And that was the right tactic to take.
Yeah.
Just like Sarah Newland was the right button to push for Eric. With, Pam figured that out. This was the right button to push for Jessica, and it worked. I think some people have criticized Sookie for that. For saying, "I don't care." She really does care.
Sure she does, but nothing else was working.
Exactly. Jessica didn't want to hear that. She actually said everything that Jessica knows she's being stupid by not eating. She knows it's the wrong choice, but she cannot bring herself not to do it. You know, she can't bring herself to eat because she feels such massive guilt for what she's done. And so, you know, Suki realized, okay, I'm going to have to, it's tough love time. Let's go.
Right. Cold water in the face.
I couldn't care less, but I need your help.
Right. So, and that's what did it. And then on the heels of that, Lafayette coming in.
Yeah.
And, you know, calling her Redbone. I'm like, Redbone! That is so cute!
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was cute. But pretty girl, mostly. Yeah. Calling her pretty girl.
And he had the right mix of, you know, tough love and real, you know, gentle love, too.
Yeah.
Opening up a little bit about, you know, he feels like he killed Jesus. It wasn't his fault, but I get it. He's still dealing with that guilt. And that was kind of a nice callback, too.
He held the weapon. You know, it was he did it. So
it was his body, not his mind. Yeah.
Right. So, you know, Jessica needed to hear stuff like that. Hey, get over yourself.
Yeah. And remember, she's only like 20.
Yeah.
So
she's allow her a little angst. Yeah.
Yeah, she's still young and she's dealing with a lot, and yeah, she killed 3 fairies on accident. But I think we got through that pretty well, and I hope that that's resolved now. I hope she can move past it. So
yeah,
we can.
She can't change it. Nothing that she can do can change it. So let's go. Let's just move on.
And starving herself isn't going to do any good.
No.
Yeah.
So I did think that she was going to die during the battle between the heavy vamps and them, because they slowed it down, the slow motion thing, which was really cool, by the way. I like the way they did that. But it was too much like what they did with Tara. You know, the slow-mo, you see Jessica, and I'm like, oh, no.
No, see, for me, that's a clue that she's not going to die, because they never do it the same way twice.
Well, that's true.
So,
but, you know, I wasn't thinking of that at the time. There was so much happening, you know.
There was. How much? I mean, we've had 2 episodes in a row where we've had a battle on 3 fronts. That's crazy talk. I love it. It's just, it's so chaotic and just out of control. And I think it gives us as the viewers a real feeling for what they're dealing with. And and this is, and that's the second time in 24 hours that's happened. Less than 24 hours. Like 18 hours maybe. Because Suki told Eric that, you know, Alcide had died that morning. So it was sometime in the wee hours of the morning, and they went to Fantasia as soon as it got dark. So yeah, this is within the same 18 hours probably.
Yeah. That
this has happened. And whew. But yeah, they took out the vigilantes, and Eric feasting on Rosie at the end. I don't know. That was a little over the top for me, but I didn't care about Rosie enough that it bothered me that much.
I really didn't.
She was.
Well, we weren't really allowed to get to know her, so
exactly,
there was really no connection.
Yeah, the only thing we knew was that she was married to Kevin, and she was angry at vampires because he died.
Yeah,
which I get. I understand. Don't get me wrong. I would be too, but I'm not going to miss her. I'm not going to miss Vince either. Glad he's gone.
No. Now, Kenya was killed too, wasn't she?
Yes, she was. She was. I had to go back and watch for sure, but speaking of people that didn't get a proper death, bam. Yeah.
Done and gone.
They're wiping them out. It's going to be a ghost town for a different reason now.
Right. So, now, what do you got on the police force? You got Andy and Jason. That's it.
And Andy's working, he's dealing with Holly right now, bless her heart.
Oh my gosh, what a scene.
Wow.
Whoa. That was really so hard to watch. I was crying.
It was props to Lauren Bowles.
Oh, wow.
That was hardcore. Now, do you remember why we know her? We met her through Tara, who met her at a rape survivor.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
This was her. That's why it was so hard for her to relive. I mean, it would have been hard for anybody, but she had already survived rape, and this was a different kind of rape. That's why it was so hard for her. It just devastated her to have to remember it, because it was basically being raped all over again.
Yeah.
Man, that was hard to watch, but at
So
the same
hard.
time, I was just like, dang, Lauren Bowles, you go.
Yeah. She really
amazing.
a wonderful moment for her, and but ow. I was crying. No, don't make her go back anymore.
That was rough. That was rough.
Hard to watch.
I did like that we saw Sookie using her telepathy again. We've seen that every episode so far.
So far, yeah.
Which is awesome. And we talked about that before the season started, that I missed that connection to her powers and that I wanted to see more of it. So thanks for listening.
I liked poor Andy. Well, what do I do? She's like, we like to be hugged.
We like to be held.
We like to be held.
We like to be held, which was, yeah. And
it
that's
was
true.
a good moment. It was
It
a
was
very
a good-
good moment. And
then he tells Jason, I'm out. It's all on you. I'm out.
Speaking of teary moments, I couldn't hold it together either at the beginning when Jason was on the phone with Hoyt.
Oh, my God.
I meant to mention that before. I know we're kind of jumping all over a little bit here, but there was so much. It was such a good episode. But in that beginning, when he was on the phone with Hoyt.
And Hoyt didn't remember him.
Not at all. Not at all.
Oh, yeah.
And Jason couldn't even tell him.
Yeah. He's grieving for his best friend, for his Bubba.
Yeah.
And Hoyt doesn't know who he is. Man, just stick the knife in and turn it.
It was hard. It was hard. That's the first time I started to tear up.
Yeah. I did like the scene where Sookie called Jackson to tell him about Alcide, and Jackson being Jackson, the way he responded to her, and he's trying to reach out to her and give her some kind of comfort. That was nice. Yeah, that was nice. And I guess now they're on their way to Montana.
This is a strong Sookie that we saw. Very strong. I liked when she said, she told Jason. Jason's like, what he says something like, how can you not be crying or something? And she's like, I want to cry, but I can't. I want to grieve.
I have to man up, and you have to man up.
That's right. We've got work to do. We're still in danger. If this isn't over, there's time to grieve later. And this is what we've been saying since the first episode. There's time to grieve later. They haven't had time, and that time is coming.
It's literally been 48 hours in Bon Tom since the end of season 6.
Yeah.
It's been 48 hours.
They've either been running, trying to rescue people, or fighting. They haven't slowed down for a minute. Sookie's barely had time to change her clothes, for crying out loud.
I know. This is our third wardrobe change for her since the end of season 6. Yeah. So Alcide at least got to take a shower.
Right.
So there's that. But this is happening really, really fast. So we'll see them grieve. We will. But we're also getting to grieve for other characters along the way. I know that we had that whole episode last season with Terry's funeral. That was beautiful. And one of the best of all time. But to see him again as Arlene was going to let go. Seeing him through Arlene's eyes, through Sookie's powers, it was really nice. It was a nice, just just an extra goodbye to the character.
I like the way they did that. So then it explains why Arlene had to go through what she went through. I was thinking about, the just events leading up to other things, and, I really thought Arlene was gonna die. She was gonna be one of the casualties. She was on my short list.
Yeah.
I really kind of did until the spoilers and episode descriptions started coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I knew she wasn't, but she came pretty near. And that's the other time I started to cry. That was a really, really hard episode to watch because Sookie did cry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't leave. You can't
Mm-hmm.
leave. You have to stay with me.
and your children, and we got that wonderful scene with Sookie and Kobe and Lisa, where and that was her. She went from telling Jason, "We've got to man up," and then she changed her shirt and she went over and she talked to Kobe and Lisa, and said, "I'm giving it to you straight. This sucks, but we're gonna, your mom's a fighter. We're gonna fight for her. We're gonna get her back." And then she went in and she said, "You know what? Holly, I am sorry to do this to you, but we have to. We have to do this.
Yeah.
To save these people." And she did it. And then she went to Bill and said, "We've got to talk. We've got to get them out. I know where they are. We have to go." And, she got them all together and they went and they did it.
Yeah.
And she was having to be, she had to be hardcore with Jessica. This is tough Sookie in crisis mode, and this is why we picked Sookie and Jason to be in our posse. If we were up against the Hep V vampires,
exactly.
When we did that Trivia of the Week personality quiz,
yeah,
this is why I want Sookie on my team. Mm-hmm. You can hate her, you can call her a slut, which I will fight you on, but you can say whatever you want. But when the chips are down, she's a fighter. And she's smart. She knows how to figure it out. She knows how to make a plan. And she will go to who she needs to go to. And she will get it put together. And she'll get it done.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's my Sookie. I don't know who y'all are watching, but that's my Sookie.
And Jason can be the voice of reason. Look what he did with Sam.
Yeah.
He had to talk Sam down off that ledge. Sam was going to be doing something stupid all by himself. And he would have died. And everyone there, he would have died. Arlene would have died. Jane.
Nicole.
Nicole, the baby. He would have ruined it all. Mm-hmm. So that was just Sam running on emotion. Just letting emotion rule and control him.
Which, I'm glad we saw that. Because I as a viewer, needed to see Sam lose it for a minute, because this is his fiance and his baby and his good friend who are trapped. These are people that he feels responsible for. Right. So I needed to see that happen, but I needed also to see someone say, "Hold up, that's not smart. This is what we have to do." And I'm glad that Jason was the one who did it because, he and Sookie, they were working together. They maybe weren't in the same place at all times, but they were working together. Mm-hmm. And I love it when the Stackhouses work together. Yeah. They're awesome.
Yeah. You get Jason coming through when you need Jason to come through, and then he's not so stupid.
Right. He might say something stupid, but he's, he does have some good common sense eventually. Yeah. But there were some people that were asking about, why didn't they attack during the day? Why did they have to wait till nighttime? Because if you look back to what we've seen with the Hep V vampires, they won't go outside during the day, but they aren't asleep either. Mm-hmm. They're awake during the day, but they are not immune to the sun, and that's why they have to stay indoors, and why they won't come out and attack. But if they had tried to attack Fantasia during the day, they couldn't bring Bill and Jessica and Eric and Pam with them. Because they would have to be asleep during the day. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not Eric because he's infected, but that was already established a couple of episodes ago when we were kind of getting to know the nest inside Fantasia, that they only sleep for 15 or 20 minutes at a time, and then they're up. So if they had tried to attack, they would have been attacking vampires who are awake, not vampires who were, in a coma.
Right.
Like we've seen non-infected vampires. So I think that has to do with the disease, that they can't sleep very much. I don't know why they're stronger than Eric, but maybe because he's older and more susceptible. I don't really understand that. I hope they bring that up. I hope they explain that.
Yeah.
But that's why they had to wait till nighttime, so that they could bring vampires with them, because no matter what, the infected vampires would be awake and able to fight.
Yeah. That's a good question. I didn't even think of that. Why they're stronger than Eric.
I've seen a couple of people mentioning it on our Facebook page and in the comments under Billy's recap, and I don't know. The only speculation I have is that it has to do with age. But I really don't know.
Or Eric hadn't fed much. I mean, we saw
him feeding though.
Yeah,
Nice.
but has he feeding as much?
No. That's the French girl said he won't feed for me, so he hadn't. But he'd only had it for a month. That's not. I mean, Jessica is a pretty new vampire, and she'd gone 10 weeks and was still okay. I mean, she was suffering, but she wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Hopefully they'll bring that up. It is still a TV show, so,
What do you know? We still have 6 more episodes that we can talk about this kind of thing. That we can answer some of these questions. Yeah.
Yeah, and they might too. I don't know.
So we've got, Arlene and Jane now know that Sam's a shifter.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
Oh, please don't
pretty
turn into
amusing.
a rat. Oh, he turned into a rat.
Oh, Carrie Preston, you're awesome.
That was funny.
I never for a minute thought they would kill her off, because she is too much. She's just priceless.
Yeah.
Carrie Preston is Emmy-winning, amazing. We love you, Carrie Preston.
Yeah. She's awesome.
Plus something I'll talk about in the spoilers.
Okay.
I shouldn't. So I just caught myself just in time.
So, and I'm bad at that. I slip. Sorry for the spoilers, guys.
What do we have left?
Huh?
What do we have left? Oh, Arlene meets Keith.
Yeah.
Right after Terry says, "Be happy." So
yeah, Keith is her donor.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
That's
happens.
a non-spoilery clue.
Yeah.
For you.
Trubies are smart. They figured it out already.
Yeah. We got we kind of touched on this earlier, but we got an explanation for how Eric got off the mountaintop.
Yeah, we did.
He caused an avalanche and took out an entire ski village.
The whole village. Way to go.
Yeah. Yep. So he did burrow into the snow, and
yeah. He does things big. Our Eric.
Yeah. At least he seemed somewhat remorseful for that.
Yeah.
And then, as Pam said last week, she literally had been following him all over the planet, because he had been all over the planet.
Yeah.
So.
World traveler, Eric.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, and he went for a long time after healing. He went for a long time before he finally contracted the virus.
Yeah. He 5 months probably.
Yeah.
He was out there traveling, trying to get over Nora's death and all that.
Can't save them all, Eric.
No. Looking at my notes, and I think that's pretty much it. I did want to just mention that Ginger, in the 96 flashback, when she first comes into the video store, she asks for good vampire cinema. She's writing a paper for a class at Tulane that is examining the plight of the other in society, how they are treated vis-a-vis vampires in cinema. Mm-hmm. And you guys, that's your log line for the entire True Blood series. We're examining how the other is treated in society vis-a-vis vampires. Mm-hmm. So, just a reminder, for those of you who are wondering, that is in fact what's going on.
Yeah. So, excellent episode. Voted very, very well done by the fans.
Mm-hmm. More of this, please.
Yeah. Giving fans what they've been waiting for. So, episode 4 packed it all in there.
Loved it.
All right. So I think that's it for our episode discussion. Of course, you guys can add your own thoughts and feelings in the comments on this when this post goes up. We're going to get into spoilers now. We're going to talk about next week's episode. And so if you would like to be spoiler-free and stay that way, go ahead and shut us off, and we'll see you next week. Otherwise, we're going to get into it.
First, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Audible. If you're too busy to read, then you should try audiobooks from Audible. With thousands of titles to choose from, including all 13 Sookie Stackhouse novels and short stories, you'll never run out of books to listen to. Visit True-Blood.net/audible for a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook of your choice. That's True-Blood.net/audible. And thank you to our sponsor. All right, so let's talk about episode 705. It's called Lost Cause, previously titled Return to Oz. So, I'm not sure what to think of. Return to Oz meaning Return to Bontom, but it's now it's Lost Cause. I don't know. The official synopsis reads, exhausted from her recent travails, Sookie finds herself the unwilling host of a festive mainstreaming party in Bontom. In search of an elusive adversary, Eric and Pam head to Dallas and attend a gala fundraiser. Andy makes a life-changing decision. Jessica and James reach a crossroads. Bill loses himself in remembrance of human days. And this episode was written by Craig Chester and is directed by Howie Deutsch, who also directed episode 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah, episode 2. So... all right, so Sookie is hosting a mainstreaming party at her house. We see that in the preview. I've seen a little clip from this episode when Bill shows up for the party, and she's still in her bathrobe and is less than pleased that she is hosting this party. She's not on board with this, you guys. She's tired. She would just like to take a nap, thanks.
Yeah.
So.
Been a little busy, you know.
Yeah. I think that clip will be, Anna Paquin is going to be on Seth Meyers this week. Late night? Yeah, late night with Seth Meyers on NBC, and I think they're going to show that clip there. So we should have it on our site pretty soon, too. Meanwhile, Eric and Pam are headed to Dallas, and they attend the gala fundraiser. This is, of course, in search of Sarah Newland, and we're pretty sure this is when Mr. Gus makes his appearance. Mm-hmm. And we start with that whole storyline of going after Sarah Newland. And then Andy makes a life-changing decision. There was an interview with Lauren Bowles that went up, I think it was in TV Guide or TV Line. I can't remember where it was. But she talks about Holly and Andy's future and suggests that possibly there is a wedding on the horizon. So I think this kind of ties in with that. And we've seen him. We saw Andy talking to Jason in the house in St. Elise about family's the most important thing. And so I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's what's on the horizon.
I wouldn't either. And I'm hoping for it anyway.
Yeah. They're a good couple.
Yeah.
So Jessica and James reach a crossroads. Guessing Lafayette has something to do with that. Bill loses himself in remembrance of human days. See, I'm still worried about whether he gets out alive.
Well,
I just don't know, because it seems to me that Suki is telling him over and over and over again that they are not going to happen. Oh, we didn't talk about that in the episode discussion. Pam says to Bill, don't try to be a hero. It's not going to happen with Suki tonight. It's not going to happen with Suki ever. Mm-hmm. Ever. I don't know, you guys. I tend to believe Pam here.
Yeah.
We've talked about this in depth, that we do not see Bill and Suki together in the end. Mm-hmm. So I feel like maybe we're being set up for him to sacrifice himself for Suki.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You know?
No.
What do you think?
I think that he is going to get melancholy again, but it will probably be one of the other characters that'll remind him of, why he's needed still, that they're still, people still want to have him around. Jessica, for one.
Yeah.
It might be Jessica that talks him down or brings him back out of his state. It was her before. Maybe it's Willa. I don't know. I don't know why she pops into my head, but it seems, why not?
Yeah. I don't know. He's
these baby vamps.
I see him heading towards the kind of ennui that Godric had. I don't have anybody anymore. I have my progeny and I love my progeny, but that's not enough for me. I'm tired of living. Mm-hmm. Everything that's happened to Bill since we've met him that's a lot. That's a lot for a human, and then, for a vampire who's facing unknown centuries of undeadness. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can just see it in Bill's makeup. I can see he's prone to depression. I can see him deciding to meet the sun.
Well,
or to sacrifice himself for Suki.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. We'll see. Maybe he won't. It would be I would like it if he survived, just because I would like to see him have a happily ever after. Mm-hmm. But as happily ever after as you're going to get from an Alan Ball show. But yeah. We'll see. It just kind of seems like they're pointing him towards that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But what I was going to say about Carrie Preston, about them not getting rid of Arlene, is there's a photo that was tweeted from the last day of filming, the final episode, the final day of shooting, and it was dressed as your favorite character day. So the hair and makeup people, the crew, were dressed as their favorite characters. And so there's a photo of, I don't know who the crew are exactly, but one of them is dressed as Suki at Merlotte's, and one of them is dressed as Arlene at Merlotte's, and they're standing there with Carrie Preston in costume and Anna Paquin in costume as Suki and Arlene. So Carrie Preston was there on the final day of shooting. Tells me that she's going to stick around. We don't need to worry about her.
Yeah.
Now, in what context she's around, I don't know, but it looked... Suki was kind of dressed for a party or a wedding. Possibly a wedding. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe Andy and Holly's wedding.
Mm-hmm. Possibly.
So I don't know. You know what? I honestly don't know how they are going to end the series at all. But and you've been right more than I have ever been in calling, predicting what's going to happen to the characters. But in this one thing, I think I would just be so disappointed.
If Bill died?
Yeah, I would be totally disappointed. Completely disappointed.
I don't know. I could see them killing off his character before Eric's, just because of the personalities of the characters. I know a lot of people would would accept that Eric would choose to sacrifice himself for Suki. If he had to. I still don't quite, I don't know. If he thought he was legitimately dying and there was absolutely no hope, then yes, I think he would do it. Mm-hmm. But if there's a smidgen of a chance that he could be cured from Hep V, look, I like Eric too, you guys, but Eric is Eric. You got to accept him, flaws and all, and he's out for number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I could see Bill doing it before Eric, and
I don't see either one of them.
I hope they don't get put in that position.
I don't see either one of them dying at all. I really don't. I could more easily see Eric and Pam leaving to go do something. Just we're leaving the area. We're moving on. We've got things that we have to do. Whatever.
We're done.
Whatever that involves.
With Shreveport, and that's stupid.
I mean, maybe he gets offered something big by this Mr. Gus or whatever. I don't know. The authority is gone, but these guys are still here. The corporation.
And we know that they were allied with the authority, so
right. So
that's why she's tying that together.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, I could see that more than Eric dying of the virus or sacrificing himself for anybody.
I'm 100% sure that Eric makes it out alive.
Yeah,
100%. I will go on the record, 100% sure. I'm 90% sure that Bill makes it out alive.
Yeah. Now, see, there again, too, I could see Bill leaving, too.
Yeah, I could see him leaving.
He wrote a book, go on a book tour, or maybe go do some research, like he's going to go away for a while and do some research. They might they'll bring that in from the books.
Maybe.
But I don't know. It would just make me way too sad. It
would be devastating if they killed Bill. That would be.
I have been a Bill, Eric, all of these guys. I've been a fan since the first book. We've talked about it so many times in so many podcasts over the years. Mel and I have had conversations about this even before we got the podcast going. Bill has always been a favorite character of mine, and so if I don't know, I wouldn't be down with that.
Yeah, it would be tragic. The part of me that's the analytical English major, pop culture analyst, would be really impressed if the writers had the balls to do it. But the viewer and the fan in me would be really upset that they had done it. So I don't know. I don't know which side to root for.
Yeah. I'm not going to root for any side at this point. I'm just going to say I would be unhappy if they did it that way. If they keep
it's all done now, so it doesn't matter what we say. They're done.
True.
They're done filming. They finished last week.
Yeah, they're done. So no matter what, what's going to happen is going to happen. Whatever, and if they do it, if they do it sort of like they did Godric, although as you said before, they don't repeat.
Yeah.
So that would surprise me. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to say anything more than that. I'm going to be labeled, oh, Liz is just a Bill fan. No, I'm not.
Oh,
It's not what I said. It's not what I said. I love Bill. I love Eric. I love Lafayette. I love Jason. Love Jason.
Me
if
too.
they would have killed Jason, I would
better
have been
not die.
just as upset.
Yeah.
Extremely upset. So, at this point, I think anybody that's left, I would be sad. I would just be sad if they
already took Tara and LC. Can't we be done?
Yeah. Can we please? I would hate for us to lose anybody else.
Yeah.
Although I really thought Jane was going to go.
That woman has like 100 lives.
I know. This is not going to help her drinking problem. Let me just tell you.
No, but although she was checking out Sam, I gotta say, did you catch that? They gave her a couple of shots of her being like,
"Hey there."
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, I think she's her opinion of Nicole probably went up.
Yeah. I get it now.
Yeah. That was funny. It's just so Jane. To be, you know, we had such Jane and such Arlene moments in there in the midst of this trauma that they're undergoing, and you know, they're still Jane and they're still Arlene. Please don't turn it into a rat. Oh, he turned into a rat.
Lighten up even the most scary moments. They find a way to lighten it up, and I love any show that'll do that for me.
Yeah,
because I can't always cry.
Oh, I can't wait until.
And when I do, I need cheering up.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got this next episode. We've got in the preview for the next episode, in the actual video preview, we see Letty Mae comes with a knife. I don't know who she's after, but maybe she's high on V again. I don't know, but she comes to that mainstreaming party with a knife, and Sam gets it away from her. But and then there's another attack. I don't know. It's a party at Suki's house. Something has to go wrong. Something's got to go wrong. Yeah. I think the Yakuza might show up. You know, those Japanese ninjas from the Yakumo. I think they might turn up for some reason. I don't know. But lots going on there. Jessica smooches Jason. So that's part of our crossroads too. Yeah. And so where's Violet? I don't know, but she's going to be pissed. Yep. Wouldn't want Jessica to go up against Violet because Violet will win. She's older. Older and stronger. Yeah. Okay, I think we're done. Yeah. Okay. That's going to be our show for this week. So don't forget to bookmark True-Blood.net and keep yourselves up to date on all the news. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at True-Blood.net and find us on Facebook as well. Convenient links are posted on the sidebar on our main page. And we want to thank you guys all for hanging with us, and we'll see you in our next podcast. We also want to thank Minda for editing our podcast for us and for everything she's going to do for us at Comic-Con next week. You can watch our, let's see, not the iTunes stuff anymore. I'm still figuring it out, you guys. If anybody wants to help me, just send me an email at webmaster@true-blood.net and help me figure out how to get our podcast back on there because Blip is no longer doing it. So we are still uploading to bliptv.com and we're now also uploading to YouTube, and you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/trueblood.net, all spelled out. So, and of course you can find us on Stitcher still at stitcher.com/trueblood. So you can still find us places, but our iTunes feed is, fingers crossed, I'm going to get that figured out this week. But again, if you have any help for that, if you have any questions or comments, or if you have a question about the wardrobe, I forgot to mention that our fashion Q&A went up again, started up again this week. So if you have any questions about an item of clothing that was worn on the show this season, season 7 only, please, you can email us for any of that at webmaster@true-blood.net. And join us next week for our live chat. We'll see you then. Bye. Bye.